This is Tampa Stadium in Tampa, Florida, one of the fastest-growing cities in America. Tonight, it hosts the rebirth of the Hall of Fame football game. By the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. By Bud Light, everything else is just alike. By Vic Sinex. With Sinex, you feel better in 1 second. Plus, it keeps you breathing for hours. By Mitsubishi, who invite you to test drive and experience the new 1987 Mitsubishi cars and trucks. And by IBM.
And a very pleasant greeting to you from Tampa Stadium in Tampa, Florida for the Hall of Fame Bowl game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Boston College Eagles. Hello, I'm Steve Grad. Welcome to our telecast. We're delighted you're with us here tonight on a beautiful night. It's in the mid-70s, it's humid, and it has stopped raining. We had rain for about 2 straight days, but an hour ago it stopped. And believe it or not, during pregame practice, the players said the footing is pretty darn good, so it shouldn't adversely affect this ball game. I'll be patrolling the sidelines, bringing you updated reports throughout the contest. Maybe a special guest interview or two with the likes of James Brown or Doug Flutie or any other surprise celebrities will be dropping by. Right now, it's my pleasure to introduce the man who'll be calling the play-by-play action for you throughout most of the game. Here's Howard David.
Thank you, Steve Grad. Tonight, 2 8-3 football teams will be meeting for the first time since 1951. The two schools have only met twice, 50 and 51. The offensive scheme of things for the Georgia Bulldogs, Lee Corso, number 2 in the Southeastern Conference, very potent, particularly on the ground.
Absolutely. Georgia's a running football team. They like to move the clock, control the football. Their tailback, Lars Tate, is the key to the ball game. He averages 5.1 and has scored 17 touchdowns this year. And James Jackson, number 14, he's quick. He's an exciting and more than adequate passer. This is going to be a great game.
Now, in the Southeastern Conference, Georgia ranked number 10 against the pass, but against the run, there's something else.
Yes, they base their entire scheme on quickness, speed, toughness, and great tradition. They got a defensive back, number 19, John Little, who's probably their best football player.
John Brantley, a linebacker, probably their best, will not get the start tonight because he got a little rambunctious.
His nickname is Rambo, and I think he tried to play up to the nickname.
All right, so far as the Boston College side of the football is concerned, Bob Cacciola, offensively, Sean Halloran had to fill some big shoes from a little guy.
Doug Flutie's shoes. Last year was difficult for him, and it would have been difficult for anybody. But this year is a lot different. Although he had problems in the first game when BC lost to Rutgers, he came back in the 4th game to start again, and then the rest is history. 7 straight victories, and here they are in the Hall of Fame Bowl.
At the tackle, defensively, John Bosa. Some say he's better than Mike Ruth, who won the Outlet Trophy.
That's quite a claim, and John Bosa is big. At 6'4", 257, he may be the best down tackle in this country, and he's excellent.
All right, we'll be back with the starting lineup of tonight's game, Georgia and Boston College, in just a moment.
Here comes Santa with quality Norelco gifts for everyone. Every man wants a Norelco rechargeable for blade close shaves without nicks or cuts. Give her the ladies rechargeable. Give a digital bath scale or clean air machine. Keep clothes looking smart at home or away. Or give this stylish coffee maker with automatic shutoff. Playing Santa is simple. Just remember Norelco. Even our name says Merry Christmas.
Norelco, we put quality first.
Is uric acid strong enough?
No, and it's even a leading plus brand.
Try double strength Mylanta 2 with ounce for ounce nearly double the acid neutralizing power of any leading plus brand.
Now that's strength.
Mylanta 2. Is uric acid strong enough?
No. You got something stronger?
Yes. Double strength Mylanta 2 with ounce for ounce nearly double the acid neutralizing power of any leading brand.
Now that's the relief I wanted.
Mylanta 2.
I don't know. You can't drive at night anymore. Did you know that? Mom told me that. I mean, that's really nothing.
I know. I know.
I mean, 5 years, 7 years from now, what happens then? He won't ask us. Even if he needs our help, he won't ask us. So we're gonna do something. We're the ones, you know.
We're back at the Hall of Fame Bowl. Good evening. I'm Dwayne Dow. It's time to look at the matchup for tonight's game. Brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Now, the Hall of Fame Bowl comes to life again here in Tampa, Florida tonight,
where the players have been enjoying the sights, including Busch Gardens. Quarterback James Jackson of Georgia meets a couple of friends. Maybe they're going to learn how to call signals. Lars Tate enjoying a quiet moment. I'll tell you what, he led the team in rushing, receiving, and scoring, and defenses usually didn't cover him up that well. This is a man who raced for 17 touchdowns and 954 yards. Floridian John Brantley, a tough guy, nicknamed Rambo, enjoying a quiet moment in his home state. Steve Boswell combined with Brantley to have 250 tackles this year for the Junkyard Dogs. John Little's an All-American safety, doing a little stretching out with a friend. A little more gently than he stretches out offensive players who try to pick up yardage on Georgia. And, of course, the man who's leading this very, very successful program over the years, Coach Vince Dooley. For Boston College, in the post-Flutie era, they have a big, strong, tall quarterback named Sean Holleran. And he's got an accurate arm. Let's have a good look at this young man up close without the football gear. His favorite target is Kelvin Martin, doing a little falconry with a buzzard here at Busch Gardens. Darren Flutie's an excellent player in his own right, usually a possession receiver. This man has shown some great speed to beat the secondary and get the big gainer, as on this touchdown. The big threat is Troy Stratford, a top receiver and runner out of the backfield. The Bulldogs are concerned about him. And Steve Trapolo meeting a friend at Busch Gardens. Also, John Boza in a quiet moment, getting some secret information for the defense. Ted Gaffney and Bill Romanowski, two tough linebackers. You're going to see them in action right now. This is Romanowski on a big interception. Incidentally, we want to thank our good friends at Busch Gardens for this beautiful footage. And also remind you that Boston College is coached by an outstanding man, a friendly man, and a great brain trust, Jack Bicknell. And we'll have more after this.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Give me a light.
you never know what you'll get.
Dogs. No, actually, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours? No.
Because everything else
Give me a light. Showtime.
is just a light.
As the holidays come around, it's nice to know that even if something breaks, it won't break you. If you shop with the American Express card, because until December 31st, we will extend the free repair period of the manufacturer's warranty. In fact, we'll double it, up to an extra year. Just in case the things you buy aren't all that they're cracked up to be. But be sure to register your purchases with Buyer's Assurance and use the American Express card.
Sure, I'm ferocious on the field. You've got to be tough in my business. And I'm also demanding when it comes to time. I wear a Sharp quartz watch that not only looks sharp, but fits my lifestyle.
Sharp watches, they're tough and dependable, and that's why Sharp is the only famous watch with a 5-year warranty. And they make great gifts, too. Many models available in water-resistant fashion colors. Sharp people wear Sharp watches. Sharp at fine stores everywhere.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Maybe you should try something else. My dandruff shampoo really works.
Maybe you should try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors and pharmacists recommend Selsun Blue more than all other leading brands combined. What that means to you is no leading brand gets rid of dandruff better than Selsun Blue. It's #1.
And like all Selsun Blue formulas, new extra medicated Selsun Blue is for serious dandruff, with the ingredient recommended most by doctors.
Coin toss for tonight's game, Boston College and Georgia. Vincent DePaul Dratty, the chairman of the National Football Foundation and Hall of Fame. And he'll supervise the coin toss with James Brown, the father of soul.
It is a hit.
Will you put your back to the goal here? Boston College has won the toss and elected to receive.
Here's the Boston College offense, the starting tight end, Peter Casparillo. The left tackle is Jeff Oliver. The left guard, Joe Wolf. The center, Darren Twombly. Steve Trapillo, the right guard. David Wydell, the right tackle. Darren Flutie, the split end. Sean Halloran will be the starting quarterback, number 7. Troy Stratford, the exciting tailback from Linden, New Jersey, a tailback. Jim Turner, the fullback from Braintree, Massachusetts. And the flanker, the exciting Kelvin Martin. The defense for the Georgia Bulldogs, Vince Guthrie at left defensive end. Paul Giles will be the tackle, the defensive tackle on the left side. Henry Harris, defensive guard. Larry Brown, second defensive guard. And Aaron Chubb will be the right defensive end. Steve Boswell, one of the co-captains at right side linebacker. Terry Webster starting in place of John Brantley on the left side. Greg Williams will be at the left corner. The right corner will be Will Jones. John Little at safety. And rounding out the defensive secondary, Gary Moss. Georgia Bulldogs coached by Vince Dooley. And the Boston College Eagles coached by Jack Bicknell. They're the Georgia sideline. Their co-captains tonight, John Little, David McCluskey, and Steve Boswell. And for Boston College, they have 3, Kelvin Martin, Troy Stratford, and John Boza are the tri-captains for the game tonight. Happy holidays from all of us at the Ms. Lou Television Network. I'm Howard David, along with Lee Corso and Bob Cassiola and Steve Grad on the sidelines. Tampa Stadium crowd was supposed to be 45 to 50,000. The rain held back some folks, but didn't deter many folks, I'll tell you that right now. The kick returners for Boston College will be Tyrone Taylor and Steve Williams. And the kicker, Steve Crumley. Here's the conditions in Tampa tonight. Temperature of 70 degrees. Wind's not much of a factor. Forecast is still for a chance of showers. We had rain all day. But this magnificent stadium, as you look at the officials, is in exceptional shape. Gil Marchman, the referee from the Big Ten. The crew is Big Ten, Mid-America Conference combined. Crumley approaches the ball, and is a very short kickoff. Taken at the 25 by one of the up people. DeFranco out to the 40-yard line, and Boston College will put it in play. 1st and 10 with excellent field position. In 1982, the Eagles played the Auburn Tigers out of the Southeastern Conference in the Tangerine Bowl. That was with sophomore then, Doug Flutie. Now, here's Sean Halloran, the starting quarterback, the senior from Westminster, Massachusetts. And to say that he is the comeback player of the year would be an understatement in the truest sense of the word. Twin receivers to the right side for the Eagles. And with Flutie in motion, Halloran back to throw. As Casparello over the middle across the 50-yard line into Georgia territory.
First play, they put their tailback, Troy Stratford, in the slot, bring him back in motion. They have 3 possible receivers. They read the coverage. That time the linebackers widen with the motion, the tight end inside, and that's the game. The passing game is a big part of Jack Bicknell.
And if Georgia doesn't put any more pressure on us, these guys liable to score 50 points in the first half.
Gain of 11 on the play. 1st down, Eagles. They have twin receivers to the left side this time. One setback is Jim Turner with Tyrone Taylor in motion. Halloran back to throw. As the receiver, Tim Waddle makes the reception. in for BC, close to another first down at the 40-yard line of Georgia.
Naturally, early in the game, they go to zone coverage. Georgia playing it very safe, laying back that time. Again, plenty of motion to change the formations as we watch Halloran drop here and read number 20 Waddle. He makes the play on the sideline. The cornerback is way off. Good game.
And absolutely, but Georgia's going to try to keep them inside of them, in front of them, to start the ball game.
Will Jones and Gary Moss combining on the stop for the Bulldogs. Kelvin Martin out wide to the right side in an I formation with Stratford with tailback. Play fake, Halloran. Looking end zone. Flutie's out there, overthrown. Darren Flutie had his man beating the ball, just overthrown.
First time they come in the I formation, Stratford at home, strong fake to the tailback, frees everybody, trying to Flutie up the sideline on the flyback.
And a beautiful play, because, you know, that's exactly the play we showed in the pregame. That's exactly the same play that Flutie beat the guy in the Syracuse game to win the ball game for him. You always go back to what brought you.
And it was that game that got BC the invitation to the Hall of Fame Bowl. So it's third down in the yard for Boston College. Martin out wide to the right side with two tight ends in the game, Murphy and Casparello out of the I. Play fake, Halloran. Pass overthrown, intended for Kelvin Martin. And gentlemen, Martin was open to the inside.
They came with an end over that time, an unbalanced line. They put Martin alone on the flank, a strong fake, third and short. But Boston College is a wide open offense. They're going for the home run.
If that play didn't work, but it did work. Now, from now on third and 1, you won't see Georgia filling a hole quick because they're afraid right now.
David Rooney, the punter for BC, averaging slightly less than 37 yards per kick. He'll be kicking to Fred Lane. The lefty punter kicks it away from Lane. It goes into the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Early moments, first quarter at the 1986 Hall of Fame Bowl. There's no score. Boston College at Georgia. We'll be right back.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Army. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Mitsubishi.
My brother needed a new truck. I told him Mitsubishi Mighty Max was Chrysler and Toyota, Nissan, or Mazda. Then Sis wanted one with extras. Mighty Max Sport, I said. Next, I said, before you buy, test drive a Mitsubishi. They'll give you $100. They'll even get the 100 if you buy somebody else's new 87 import. That got him.
Hurry, you must test drive and purchase by January 4th. Plus special factory incentives could mean a better deal.
Welcome back to the Hall of Fame Bowl. Howard David, Bob Cassiola, and Lee Corso with Steve Grant on the sidelines. Georgia with the ball. James Jackson, the starting quarterback. And Cassius Osborne in motion. Knocked out of bounds, Nate Lewis. Actually, that was John Thompson here. John Thomas here is the starting split end for Georgia. Victor Perry, the left tackle. Mac Burrows, the left guard. Todd Wheeler, the starting center. Kim Stevens, the right guard. Scott Adams starting at right tackle. Troy Sadowski, the tight end. Lars Tate, the exciting tailback. McCluskey, the fullback from Rome, Georgia. 2nd and 4 coming up for Georgia. Jackson on the option, and he lost the yard. All right, James Jackson, the starting quarterback. And Cassius Osborne will be the starting flanker. Defense for Boston College. And they're active. Eric Lindstrom, the defensive end on the left side. John Bosa. Tom Burrell, the nose guard. Mike Degnan, the right tackle. Bill Thompson, the right defensive end. The linebackers. Actually, that is the quarterback, Garrick McPherson. 3rd down and 5, Georgia. Their own 25-yard line. Sadowski in motion, and Jackson scrambling. Close to a first down, but a yard shy. Coming up with the play was Tom Burrell, the nose guard. Here's the defense again continuing. Carl Creshpain, the strong safety. Bill Romanowski, the left side linebacker. Ted Gaffney, the right side linebacker. Carl Pelagata is the free safety. And Vincent Munn, the right cornerback. Coached by Jack Bicknell and his BC Eagles. It is 4th and 1, and they'll bring the punting unit on. Chris Carpenter will be kicking to Kelvin Martin, and he can break the long one. BC with 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Carpenter, a good punter, averages 44 yards per kick. And he gets away at dandy. Fair catch called for by Kelvin Martin at the 19-yard line of Boston College.
I'll tell you what, that was the biggest surprise of the year for me. Martin had enough room to run that back. And the biggest problem that Georgia has tonight, or one of the problems, is the fact that there's a lot of hidden yardage and return yardage, Bob. And you know that one right there could have broke because they had a wall set up.
Okay, BC gets the ball back. Coming into this ball game, Jack Bicknell said, we like to throw the football. And if they don't let us throw it, we'll feature our tailback. We like to throw the ball by adjusting our formations with motion and movement. And this is what they're doing right off the bat.
After Carpenter's 51-yard punt with no return, it's BC's ball for the second time. Halloran with the connection across the 25. Across the 35-yard line, Kelvin Martin.
Kelvin Martin. Bicknell calls him a great football player on the flank, getting the ball underneath and giving him a chance to run with his great speed, 4, 5, 6 for the 40. As we pick it up from the end zone camera, we see the drop by Halloran. He sits right in the pocket, and he waits from the left side as Martin comes open underneath, and once he gets it, he gets upfield.
Marcus Cherry in at flanker now as Martin goes to the sidelines. A 16-yard pickup and a first down. Stratford up inside across the 40 to the 45-yard line, about a 9.5-yard gain. It'll bring up second down and short. Ronnie Smith making the stop for Georgia.
Stratford sitting at 7 yards in the I backfield, gets a great block from the left tackle, Oliver, number 70, coming across traffic and gets up inside.
Misdirection early in the game. Why? Remember, Georgia, pursuit and quickness, and the way you beat pursuit and quickness is start one direction and go back the other.
Jack Bicknell, the head coach, went from a 1-3 start. They won their last 7 in a row. BC out of the eye, second down and very short for a first. Stratford first down and a lot more into Georgia territory. Brought down after a first down pickup. And the tackle again made by Ronnie Smith.
85, the tight end Casparella moves from one side to the other to change the strength of the formation to hope to get him in an imbalance. But that time they ran behind their right guard, Steve Trapillo, and he's excellent.
And Stratford is a little quicker, I think, than the Georgia players expected because he's beating them to the hole.
Stratford and Lars Tate, a lot of similarities between the two. First and 10 BC. With Stratford in motion. Wide open over the middle. Was Sean Murphy or Casparello, one of the two. I believe it's Casparello. It is Pete Casparello, the tight end.
The tight end coming from the left side that time, but the motion and the threat of the tailback, Stratford swinging into the flat. As we see here, as he drops back, the tailback's into the flat, and he waits for him to come underneath. The linebackers disappeared.
Both linebackers blitz, and they didn't have man-for-man coverage underneath because they were afraid that Flutie would beat them deep.
First and 10 BC at the Georgia 36-yard line. Sean Dombrowski now in at split end as BC goes out of a pro set. Stratford trying to turn it outside. Getting close to the first down marker and beyond. I believe it's going to be awfully close. But Troy Stratford, who had 240 yards against Army, is off to a big start.
And what balance and what an adjustment. And he's explosive and he's versatile. He catches the ball. But that time, that was sheer athletic ability.
And I'll tell you what, he had Will Jones right there in the middle. But before he moved, Will Jones looked like he was screwed right into the grass. And Stratford went right past him.
Kelvin Martin and Darren Flutie back in the game as the wideouts. Dombrowski goes out. Marcus Cherry goes out. Martin comes to the near side. Top of your screen is Darren Flutie. Stratford and Turner, the setback from the eye. Play fake, Halloran. Pass is almost intercepted. Casparello had touched the ball, and it almost slipped into the hands of Will Jones, their overback.
By changing the formations in motion, you mess up the coverage a little bit, but they come back to the play. They got the first down before. As he drops back, good strong play fake to the tailback, holds the linebacker, gives 85 Casparella a chance to come underneath.
If you'll notice, 44, Boswell went to the direction of Stratford, and that's why the tight end was open.
3 tight ends now in the game for BC. Casparello, Sean Murphy, and Kyle Hudgens. They take the wideouts out of the game on 3rd and 1. From the 26. Turner inside, first down, inside the 25-yard line. Vince Dooley, the head coach and the dean of Southeastern Conference coaches. 23 years he's been at Georgia. That is more than any other coach in college football today, active coach, been at one school for that long.
And in 23 years, this is his 18th bowl appearance as the head coach at the University of Georgia.
You know, the Georgia defense this year has had its problems at times. They hustle, they keep working, but I think the formation changes are giving them some problems, Lee.
That and that the Boston College players are better than they are right now.
Dombrowski and Martin now line to the left. Stratford comes in motion, and he gets the dump off. Excellent play by Gary Moss, the right cornerback, and actually Greg Williams making the initial play, and a big play just held on for dear life.
And that's a big play for Boston College. They like to run what they call the read screen to the tailback. They read the coverage, and they dump the ball off to the tailback. Great pursuit.
You don't know how good a tackle that was. That's the same tackle that Jones missed on the other side. Williams made it and stopped the play.
Kelvin Martin wide to the right. Darren Flutie comes to the near side. Officials call time. Don't know what the problem is, but Vince Dooley watching intently. Henry Harris coming over to the sidelines. I don't know if BC has called, or rather Georgia has called for a timeout, and Jack Bicknell's now saying, what is going on?
Jack Bicknell, 47 years old. Cowboy Jack, they call him, because he loves country music and he loves horseback riding.
Apparently there was an equipment problem with Henry Harris. Bill Goldberg now in as defensive guard for Georgia. Harris goes to the sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 12, BC, from the Georgia 26-yard line. Halloran. Troy Stratford, but he caught it out of bounds. He made the catch in the middle of all the white shirts. Just a miraculous play, but he was not in bounds.
That time he looks at Stratford all the way here. He's trying to break him up on a fly pattern up the sideline, and he's there, but he's got a lot of people around him. Great job by the secondary.
If you'll notice, number 44 is trying to cover him. That's a linebacker. That's a perfect mismatch that you see every Sunday in pro football, and they did it right here in this ball game.
You can see his foot come down out of bounds. Great work by our camera crew. 3rd down and 12, Boston College, Georgia 26-yard line. And a penalty marker thrown, the first one of the game. We're going to get a procedure call against Boston College, I would have to believe.
We're getting a lot of movement on Boston College. They're shifting the tight end.
That's the call.
In shifting their tight end and their backs that time, one of the offensive linemen moved. Jack Bicknell's looking here. He's had 2 chances early in this ball game. He's in close. He knows he wants to come away with some points early in this game.
We have a dead ball foul. Illegal procedure. Offense.
Well, 2 days from now, everybody's stocking will be filled because this guy loaded him up. I don't know what Corso's expecting for Christmas, but it's probably expensive.
I hope so.
3rd down and 17, Boston College at the 31 of Georgia. Swings to the right, and now Flutie joins him. And Halloran slips down in the soggy turf. Halloran slips down at the 39-yard line, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
They went to motion. They created trips. 3 receivers to the right side, and Georgia was man for man.
And I tell you what, they had Flutie ready for a touchdown. But I talked to Jack McNeil yesterday. He uses a different kind of cleat. And I was wondering if he'd have any problems with the wet surface, but he said he didn't.
So David Rooney will come in to punt it away to Fred Lane. He let the last one go. This one, the ball to the 39-yard line. And the lefty punter trying to stick it in the coffin corner. Hits at the 5 and just trickles into the end zone. So So the 2-8-3 football teams, BC and Georgia. A little sparring going on, but no blood yet.
New York Knicks basketball, alive at the Garden. It's more than just a game.
My head was down, I was feeling low. It was Saturday morning, my transmission wouldn't go, so I called up Gibraltar. Fix it fast, fix it right. Got me cruising on a Saturday night. Gibraltar got me cruising on a Saturday night. Cruising with Gibraltar, holding my honey real tight. Cruising with Gibraltar, singing the songs on the radio, and I'm the star of the show. Gibraltar keeps your car on the go.
So Georgia comes up to the offensive line of scrimmage for the second time tonight. There's no score in the ball game. James Jackson at quarterback. Lars Tate out of the backfield, and he's got some room. Freshbane saves the tackle after a 42-yard run on the swing out to Lars Tate.
You watch this from the end zone. Now watch number 32 swing to the right. It's exactly the same play that Boston College has, except this guy gets a good block right there on the line of scrimmage. And now watch this block right there to move. Right there, you can't coach that, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, the way you check a great back is how many yards he makes after his first contact.
Best penetration in 2 series for Georgia at the BC 39-yard line. Henderson shy of the 35. Keith Henderson of the game, a tailback in place of Lars Tate. Henderson plays some fullback, a little tailback, and he says, Vince Dooley says, Henderson reminds him a lot of Troy Stratford.
Yes, and the reason they took Tate out, they always like to take a great running back out after a long run, because if he's tired, he's more apt to fumble the football.
That time they ran right at John Bosa, the defensive left tackle. They want to test him right away. They've got to be able to run outside.
John Thomas wide to the left side. Man in motion, Nate Lewis. Completion to John Thomas inside the 20-yard line. Chased out of there by Steve Williams.
Well, that was a from the end zone, you'll watch one-on-one coverage. Now watch the fake to Tate. Now he rolls out, Jackson doesn't. Watch the way he turns his shoulders. If you're a young kid watching the ball game, that's the toughest pass to throw, but watch Thomas make it. Now number 2, Williams was worried about the post touchdown, and that's why he gave him ground.
First down, Georgia. Thomas knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line after a 6-yard pickup dropped by Carl Frischbane.
Now what they do is, most football coaches do this. If it's working, do it the other side. That's exactly the same play, only the other side. Now watch his foot slip right there and go out of bounds. Immediately the play is stopped right there.
Boston College deep in their territory, still playing zone coverage, laying off those wide receivers, and they're coming out on the sprint to get the ball to them.
Second down and 4, and Vince Dooley's Bulldogs try to march in for points. Inside handoff to David McCluskey for a first down. David McCluskey, yesterday we were kidding with him. I said, David, are you a good ball carrier? He said, no, I'm a great blocking back. Tell the nation that I'm a great blocking back.
Not only that, he's a talented young man. He plays over a dozen musical instruments. You know that?
Yeah, but could he do it all at the same time?
Not necessary, but he could do it in that beautiful stadium right there.
First and goal, Georgia at the 8-yard line. Play fake, Jackson. official has signaled touchdown. The other official signaled the ball down at the 1. Is it a touchdown? Did his knee go down at the 1?
All right, he fakes the ball to McCluskey. Now watch Jackson. Remember,
no, it isn't.
The ball must touch. Watch, the ball must touch the end zone. Now watch this move. Now see how strong he is? He fights, goes forward, and right there, it depends on who you're rooting for. If you're for Georgia, it's a touchdown. Boston College, it's no touchdown.
But the key was that Boston College, off the option play, over-pursued and gave that quarterback a chance to duck it inside. They're really concerned about the speed of the tailback as well as the speed of the quarterback, Jackson.
So Steve Crumley to come on to try the extra point. Conventional kicker, Crumley, gives Georgia a 7-0 lead. So the Bulldogs march 80 yards and put the first points on the board in the 86 Hall of Fame Bowl. We'll come right back in just a moment.
You're about to discover one reason no other long-distance company can give you what AT&T can. You'll see something that lets us offer you a distinct advantage. What is it that helps keep us at the cutting edge? Betsy Thompson.
I'd be glad to assist you, Mr. Green.
And thousands like her who handle AT&T cards, billing questions, 800 numbers, any service you need.
I'm glad I could help.
For over 100 years, when you reached out, we were there, and you can keep it that way. AT&T, the right choice.
What is the secret of a truly fine sparkling wine? It is the bubbles. Tiny bubbles like this. The smaller the bubble, the better the bottle. This is Riuniti Spumante and Pink Spumante. More taste than champagne.
Brighten up your holidays. Serve Riuniti at your holiday dinners and parties. Brighten up someone else's holidays. Give a Riuniti gift box. And may all your holidays be bright.
So the Dogs strike first. An 8-yard run by James Jackson, culminating an 80-yard drive in 7 plays. And the Bulldogs, who had the ball for only 2 minutes and 17 seconds for a team that stresses the ground game, they moved the ball down the field in a hurry.
Absolutely. In fact, they really were fortunate. Boston College should have had at least 7 points and maybe 10 in the first 2 drives.
So the ensuing kickoff. There's a marker on the play, on the return. The return by Chuck Gregory, but there is a flag on the play. As we indicated, a 7-play drive, 80 yards. And James Jackson with an 8-yard touchdown run, but there is a marker on the run back.
Coming in his ball game, Jack Bicknell was concerned about stopping the running game. He did not want Georgia to hold the football on him, and that drive is not what he's looking for.
Well, you know, the Jack Bicknell can't be too concerned right now because his ball club is moving the football. What discourages you is when you can't move the ball.
All right, well, there was an illegal block on the back on the return, so it'll be the penalty against Boston College. They'll set it up at the line of scrimmage, the 18-yard line. Halloran with a play fake. And the connection to Kelvin Martin on the far sideline, shy of the 30-yard line. Looks to be enough for a first down. Let's go down to the sidelines and Steve Grad.
I talked to backfield coach Ray Goff of Georgia, asked if there were any adjustments he made for that big 6-play drive, 80 yards. He says, adjustments? We only had the ball 3 times in that early part of the game. No, we just did our game plan, blocked better, executed better, took it straight up. All it took was getting rid of the jitters and playing our game. So there was no big adjustment. Howard?
So they have called for a first down now for BC, and with 5:11 to go in the first quarter, they put the ball down at the 29-yard line, and it is a first down.
That time, again, they caught him in zone coverage, first down, good, strong play-action fake to Stratford, and they went back to their bread-and-butter receiver, Martin, on the sideline, a control pattern, first down. They've got to move that ball upfield.
You might wonder why Georgia and Boston College both play zone defenses. Basically, you can't get college football players to play man-for-man that well.
Halloran 6 of 10 for 56 yards. Stratford straight ahead. maybe he got 3. Brought down on the middle of the line by Bill Scavone, by Terry Webster, who got the start tonight in place of John Brantley, and left side linebacker.
They like to get the ball deep to Stratford, either off of a little counter play or off the sprint draw action. That time a little counter play, but the Bulldogs fill the hole well.
You notice that was the same play that worked for 10 yards the other way. Maybe they ought to go to the right next time.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Marcus Cherry's in the game at flanker in place of Kelvin Martin. Marcus Cherry in motion. Stratford got his helmet knocked off. That is Troy Stratford's, correction, that is not Stratford's helmet.
That's Bronner, the fullback, number 90.
John Bronner, who came in at fullback, has his helmet knocked off. He had about a yard on the play.
That time they put the formation to the field to try to get back on the sideline away from the strength of the defense.
And I tell you, one of the worst things you do is that right there, because Georgia's so fast, they look like they're playing on a postage stamp. They're so quick. They'll eat you up to that short side of the field.
3rd down and 5, Boston College from their own 34-yard line. Jim Turner for a first down, brought down by Steve Boswell, the right side linebacker. Turner from Braintree, Mass.
Just to come up in their split backfield. When they're in split backs, they like to throw the ball. They drop the linebackers off a little quick here, and they run the draw play back inside. He's not that nifty, but he knows where the first down markers are, and Turner gets it.
It did look like a face mask right there against Georgia, but if you're, again, like I said, it depends on who you're rooting for. If you're sitting there waiting for Georgia, no face mask.
One setback is Bonner as Stratford comes in motion. Almost a great catch by Sean Murphy.
They came back to that play. That play is the same tight end coming across the middle as Jack Bittnell looks on, and you see him signaling the plays in. Now, his offensive coordinator or quarterback coach, Sam Timer, sends him down to him. All he does is relay those plays in. One of the few head coaches around that does that.
Absolutely. He said he wanted to be part of the game, although he will call most of the formations and very few of the plays. The only plays he said he calls were the good ones.
That's what you do when you're the head coach.
Absolutely. That's what you get paid for. That's what you get paid for.
Flutie to the left side and Kelvin Martin to the right side. 2nd down and 10. Halloran with time. Great defensive play by John Little, the All-America. The senior from Lynn Haven, Florida, comes up with a big play.
And that time, Sean Halloran is late with the football. Flutie comes open early. He should get on the ball right now. He waits too long, and against a defensive back of Little's quality, you just can't do it.
Now watch it. Right at the height is where Little. Now Little is also taller than Flutie, and that's why you try to get good defensive backs. See, 6'2", 197. That's an ideal size for a free safety.
He made the transition from rover back to free safety. 3:14 remaining first quarter. Georgia in front of Boston College, 7-0. The first Hall of Fame ball.
This is your first sideline warning.
So Gil Marshman tells the Boston College team they've got to back off that white sideline strip. They've got to get off that white sideline strip, and the officials now said, there's your first warning. There's an official that takes charge. You like that.
6 of 12 for 56 yards, but that was basically the first 2 possessions, and they came away with no points. They are moving the ball, as Lee Corso mentioned, and that's encouraging. They're a wide-open offense, and they've got a lot of confidence in what they're doing.
3rd down and 10 play coming up for the Eagles from their own 41. Tremendous grab by Tom Waddle.
Okay, the ball was late last time, but this is perfect. The timing here, he gets the ball up over the defensive back, covering in front, and before the safety can get to him, excellent reaction.
That's 22 yards exactly. Now watch number 3, Moss. He doesn't get a jump on the ball. By not getting a jump on the ball, Flutie has great concentration.
A 32-yard pickup. First down, BC. Stratford looking to pick and holes to about the 25-yard line. He's brought down by Will Jones, the rover back.
Little counter counterplay, you've got to be prepared for Troy Stratford to cut the ball back all the time. That's why you can't over-pursue. Georgia did a good job in hanging in there, keeping it to about 3 yards.
Kelvin Martin and Darren Flutie come in the game. Dombrowski and Cherry go out. 2:42 remaining first quarter. Georgia leading Boston College 7-0. An 8-yard touchdown run by quarterback James Jackson, the lone scorer of the ball game. BC in a pro set. And Martin in motion. Looking for Martin. He makes the reception inside the 20-yard line at the 16-yard line. Kelvin Martin in front of Gary Moss.
Although Halloran is basically a drop-back passer, they came with a bootleg here. Good inside fake as we see to the back coming across. He comes out, and Martin, 82, comes across, breaks out to the sideline.
Listen,
there.
I coached the whole 2 years United States Football League. That's as good a play you're going to see anywhere in the country, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Kelvin Martin.
Kelvin Martin, the burner. From Jacksonville, Florida. Call himself the Florida Flash. Trip receivers to the left side for BC. First down. Waddle inside the 10-yard line. Brought down by Steve Boswell, the linebacker. It's shy of a first down, a gain of about 7.5 yards.
They come inside the 20-yard line. They come in a trips formation. 3 receivers. They're throwing the ball. They get man coverage. They bring the wide receiver underneath.
And that's nothing more than basketball, where you take one guy and pick another and bring it on. It's not legal, but you don't call it picking either. You call it rubbing. That makes it legal, right?
Tyrone Taylor's in.
It was always legal for you, Lee.
I know.
Stratford goes out, and Tyrone Taylor's in. Twin receivers to the left side for BC. And Taylor in motion. Bonner inside. Going to be shy of a first down by about a yard. John Bronner is going to be short of a first down.
Trying to run that ball up behind their great offensive right guard, Steve Trapillo. Trapillo is a really big guy, and he's All-American from Milton, Massachusetts, going on to play in the Senior Bowl as well as the Japan Bowl once this season is over for him.
Now, see, Vince went over and talked to one of the defensive coaches, and he said to him, what's going on, man? That's all he had to say. What's going on?
Third down on the yard for Boston College at the 7-yard line of Georgia. Flutie and Stratford swings to the left, and Stratford in motion to the ball. Touchdown, stop. Troy Stratford just dropped it, and nobody in the ballpark knows it better than that man.
Did Halloran have some time to throw that ball? He waits, and Stratford adjusts and comes all the way on the back line of the end zone. Here he is. He's beating his man. Number 3, Moss, the cornerback.
One of the reasons why he dropped that ball, he let it hit his pads. He should have reached out and caught the ball with his hands. It would have not bounced off his pads.
He couldn't believe how open he was.
Oh, yeah.
Stratford, the loneliest man on the stadium. Ryan Lowe to try a 23-yard field goal. 17 of 25 this year. And it's good. So Boston College comes away with some points. They'd rather have had 7, but they come away with 3. The Bulldogs lead the Eagles 7-3. We'll return after these words from your local Mitsubishi.
My brother needed a new truck. I told him Mitsubishi Mighty Max was Chrysler and Toyota, Nissan, and Mazda. Then Sis wanted one with extras. Mighty Max Sport, I said. Next, I said, before you buy, test drive a Mitsubishi. They'll give you $100. You'll even get the 100 if you buy somebody else's new 87 import. That got him.
Hurry, you must test drive and purchase by January 4th. Plus, special factory incentives could mean a better deal.
Here comes Santa with quality Norelco gifts for everyone. Every man wants a Norelco rechargeable for blade close shaves, a shoe polisher, or for his beard or mustache, a handy trimmer. Give her a ladies' rechargeable razor and keep her looking great with Norelco Beauty Care. Or give this stylish coffee maker with automatic shutoff. Playing Santa is simple. Just remember Norelco. Even our name says Merry Christmas.
Norelco, we put quality first.
We welcome you back to Tampa, Florida. Howard David, Bob Casciola, and Lee Corso with Steve Grad on the sidelines. The first Hall of Fame Bowl since the rebirth. 40 seconds remaining, first quarter, as you look at the deep people for Georgia. Nate Lewis and Fred Lane, and Brian Lowe just kicked a 23-yard field goal to make it a 7-3 ball game. Georgia in front.
You notice he doesn't wear a shoe. He's a barefooted kicker, and he's got a piece of tape over his toe. You know, kickers are a little flaky, aren't they?
They are. I mean, you can't talk to him, but if he's effective, let him go.
Comes over to Nate Lewis at the 10-yard line. Penalty marker. As Nate Lewis almost broke it, but there is a marker on the return. Nate Lewis from Moultrie, Georgia, almost broke it for the distance, but there is a penalty on the play on the return. It's going to go against the Bulldogs.
That's a break for Boston College. Coming into this ball game, Jack Bicknell said if there's a weak point on this ball club, it's our kick coverage. We have not done a good job with it, and that was an indication they could have problems later on.
From the SeaWorld blimp, we give you a shot of Tampa Stadium.
I tell you what, Howard, I'm coaching most of the stadiums in the country, and of all the places, this is my favorite. This is the most beautiful football stadium with the greatest football fans. I don't know if they're anywhere any better than they are right here in Tampa.
We have clipping on the receiving team.
Well, that's going to cost Georgia a whole lot of field position. This time they'll set it up at the 17. Nate Lewis had to run it out near the 40. Lane comes out wide to the right side. As you look at James Jackson up close, he has scored an 8-yard touchdown for the Bulldogs, and they lead it. Lars Tate gets tripped up after a gain of about 2 yards. Ted Gaffney, the linebacker, making the stop for BC.
There's the Georgia defensive team right there. And that's Billy Lewis, the defensive coordinator. He's talking in the defensive secondary about those Boston College pass patterns. Billy Lewis, defensive coordinator right there.
Second down and 7, Georgia, winding down the first period. Play fake Jackson. Flushed out of the pocket, and he threw it away, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. End of the quarter. So, color the first quarter, dogs. The Georgia Bulldogs on top at the end of 1. Georgia 7, Boston College 3.